Fast fashion has transformed the way clothes are designed, produced, and consumed, encouraging constant trend chasing and rapid turnover of clothes. This model relies on cheap materials, quick production cycles, and low prices that make it easy to treat clothing as disposable. By examining how more sustainable brands operate differently, we can explore practical alternatives to this throwaway culture and identify everyday choices students can make to support a fairer, less wasteful fashion system.
Fast fashion might look affordable and trendy, but it comes with serious hidden environmental and social costs. Research shows that the fashion industry is responsible for roughly 8 to 10% of global carbon emissions. That is more than all international flights and shipping combined. These emissions will continue to increase. To feed this demand, huge amounts of water and chemicals are used to grow cotton and dye fabrics, while synthetic fibers like polyester shed microplastics every time clothing is washed, contributing to a large share of plastic particles now found in oceans and even our drinking waters. Because fast fashion is designed to be cheap and short-lived, millions of tons of clothing waste is thrown away each year, with the vast majority ending up in landfills or being burned rather than recycled, releasing more greenhouse gases and leaving long-lasting synthetic materials to sit in the environment for decades or longer.
To explore alternatives to fast fashion, we interviewed Zach from Patagonia, a brand widely recognized for being sustainable. Patagonia approaches sustainability through material transparency, supply chain accountability, and product longevity.
My name is Zach Ellick. I'm the store manager at Patagonia Vancouver. I've been working for Patagonia for 10 years, where I started my journey as our assistant manager in the Toronto location, and I've been out here in Vancouver for about 8 years.
So how does Patagonia define sustainability in the context of clothing and design?
I think sustainability lives in every pillar of our business. Patagonia sets the standard by using as many recycled materials as we possibly can. Yeah. Currently, our line right now uses 75% recycled materials, all made in fair trade certified factories around the world. Any of our non-recycled nylons or polyesters are going to be typically also recycled. So we use all recycled down. We use cotton that's been recycled, cashmere that's been recycled. We do use fully organic cotton as well. So really changing that big problem with horrible environmental impacts of the soil health in a lot of cotton farms around the world. We've now just done organic cotton for probably 30 years or so. Yeah. So that's a huge piece of that, where everything starts. From there, the footprint of each product really starts in the factory. So where we then ship it to our warehouse and get it into our stores or to customers, we'll do that in the most environmentally friendly way possibly can. Then when the products get to the store and into our customers' hands, we definitely want to educate them about the environmental footprints of a lot of our products. So everything comes from the most environmentally sustainable place you possibly can on a materials side of things. And then once that garment is in a customer's hand, we want to talk to them about the life cycle of that garment, where when you're done with that garment, bring it back to us and we'll recycle it, break it down and turn it into a new product. And along the way, that garment's gonna be worn, it's gonna be torn, there's gonna be issues with it. So bring it back to us, we'll fix it as best as we can, keep it in rotation, have its life last as long as possible.
So how does Patagonia balance being a profitable company while also prioritizing sustainability?
I mean, sustainability is in our DNA. We wouldn't be the company we are right now without being a sustainable company. We're not trying to push profits over anything, so much so that 2 years ago we sold the company to the Home Planet. We donated the company to a nonprofit called the Holdfast Collective, which pretty much takes all of the profit that doesn't go back into paying our people, keeping our stores open, and making product. And instead of that profit going to a shareholder, like any publicly owned company, that gets donated away back into all of our nonprofit organizations and grants that we do. So talking $500 million and upwards a year of just donated money back into people fighting the climate crisis, organizations dealing with a very vast collection of different problems around the world. So
Awesome. So Patagonia is known for its long-term activism. How does that influence day-to-day operations?
Great question. I think the coolest thing about Patagonia, especially if you're an employee with us, is we all get paid activism hours every year. So every year, whether you're a part-time employee, full-time employee, manager, you work in venture at our head office, our Reno distribution center, or in a retail store in North America, or Japan, or the Netherlands, like anywhere in the world you work for Patagonia, we will pay you your hourly rate or your salary rate to go and donate 18 hours of your time every year to nonprofit organizations.
So how does Patagonia ensure transparency and ethical practices in its supply chain?
We don't hide anything. Like, we just put out this report that's directly in front of you that talks about everything we've ever done. We have something called the Footprint Chronicles that traces an item from its absolute day one in a factory where the material is getting developed to how it lands in your hands. So I think with Patagonia, we've never hidden anything because we know we're not perfect. Where when we find a solution to a problem, we don't keep it and gatekeep it to the industry. We're like, hey, we figured this out. Please go do it. It's not just going to be good for us, it's going to be good for everybody. It's going to be good for the environment, it's going to be good for the world. And if we can change the way people think about business and creating products and marketing and running our stores and life cycles of products, if we can make more people do that better, it's only beneficial for all.
What advice would you give to UBC students trying to make more sustainable fashion choices?
I think the most sustainable thing that you can do is whatever you have, keep that in use. The number one thing I think is not buying as little as possible, which might sound crazy from a retail store manager, but the best jacket you own is a jacket you already have. If that jacket obviously is at the end of its life, making sure that you're disposing it properly, cycling it if it can be, brought back to a Patagonia store. If you don't need to buy it, don't buy it. And if you already own that jacket, repair that jacket.
Patagonia's environmental goals focus on repairing and sustainability from the start. Another brand with a similar mission is 10 Tree, which plants 10 trees for every product you buy.
10 Tree's core environmental focus is very simple. Every product plants trees, and the clothing is designed to be as low impact as possible. The brand focuses on large-scale tree planting and ecosystem restoration, using mostly preferred materials, like organic or recycled fibers. They work on using ethical and environmentally friendly manufacturers. They also aim to be part of a circular economy by offering resale options.
Both companies emphasize that while individual consumers play a role in shifting demand, meaningful change requires brands to take structural responsibility for waste reduction, supply chain reform, and material innovation.
Another alternative to consuming fast fashion is secondhand buying. Jake, who works at Fish Market Studio, a secondhand vintage store, talked with the owner about how secondhand buying can ultimately reduce environmental impact.
Cool. My name's Arnold, one of the owners here at Fish Market. This is one of our stores here in Chinatown. Fish Market, so how it came to be, it was just me and one of my really close friends who were really into thrifting, and eventually we just accumulated so many clothes, and we were like, hey, let's just maybe start selling some of these, and eventually people started buying it. And even though we were going to school, we were selling clothes on the side. Eventually we really tried to make it into a business, and here we are.
Why do you think vintage and resale is important to reducing clothing waste?
I think it's very important. Obviously, everything we have here is secondhand, so none of these so much big amounts of clothing that's being made, and a lot of it is just unused. I'm sure everyone's seen videos of big mass-producing companies that make so much of these clothing, and all of it just goes to landfill. A big quote that sticks with the community here for secondhand clothing is everything that you could possibly want to wear, everything that you would want has already been made typically. Either whether that would be back in the day, in the 80s, the 60s, the 70s, especially now in the 80s and 90s, a lot of the clothes that were made then are being used today. So,
where do you source most of your clothes from?
Sourcing, so for us, we get a lot of our clothes from abroad. So again, textile warehouses that get clothes and are already being reused, sending to thrift stores around the world, especially in Canada. We get clothes from there. We also buy a lot of our clothes from other people. Again, another source of just reusing.
What's the biggest problem with fast fashion today?
Just the amount of clothes that's being made every year by all these companies, it's just a lot of waste. So I think that's the biggest problem.
What's one simple habit that every student caring about reducing waste should do?
Actually, UBC Fashion Club does this really cool thing at school where a lot of people will bring their clothes that they don't want and trade it or exchange it with other people, which is a great way of reusing clothes. So I think UBC Fashion Club does a great job of that. I think Jake also goes to that club or will be going to that club. So
Yeah.
The environmental impacts of fast fashion are substantial, including intense water consumption, carbon emissions, and global waste. While it seems like the issue is not slowing down, the United Nations has implemented a sustainable development goal to ensure sustainable consumption and production patterns. Through a 10-year framework, the UN aims to implement consumption policies and improve waste management. Still, sustainable solutions are already available across different scales, demonstrating that progress is both possible and underway. Companies like Patagonia and Tentree demonstrate how large brands can adopt to material innovation, transparency, and circularity, while local resale stores such as Fish Market Studios illustrate how keeping clothing in use longer greatly reduces waste.
For students, small shifts in consumption, such as purchasing secondhand, choosing durable apparel, and reducing impulse buying, can collectively contribute to more sustainable fashion practices. This project highlights that sustainability in fashion is both achievable and increasingly necessary as the environmental pressures associated with clothing production intensify.